This video is going to be all about the changes and improvements and the new look and layout of the JMB Living Journal, beginning with the winter 2023 issue. So if this is something of interest to you and you'd like to see a little closer look at what's inside the new journal, this video is for you. So over the past 2 years since we first started the journals, we have received overwhelmingly positive support, which just absolutely touches my heart. But the one question or feedback that I got when people did write and tell me what they would want different was that they were struggling to keep up with it, that there were too many good things and they would feel like a failure if they didn't fill everything out every day. And so they were finding it challenging to use in a busy lifestyle. So we went back and, keeping all the same tools that we had before, we did a little rearranging in the journal to make it more easily accessible to busy lifestyles while still keeping all the tools that help people to create their ideal life. So that's what we're going to show you today, is this new look and arrangement. And let's just go ahead and get started. So the beginning of the planner continues to have a little letter of encouragement from me. And the first big change that, if you've had this journal in the past, you'll notice is that we've updated the dreams guidance. After I continued to research and read after creating these journals a couple years ago, I have come to the conclusion that focusing your attention on just 1 to 3 dreams is going to make you much more successful than trying to create and make steps towards dreams in the 6 different categories that I had in the old journal. Now, I still love the categories in the old journal. I just think you should focus on a minimal number of dreams at a time. So in the updated guidance here, there's a section and guidance to get really clear on what that dream looks like, because this is going to help you visualize it, which is also going to help you be able to create this dream and, honestly, to create action steps for a plan for this dream too. So that is where we start in the journal, and you'll notice that all the pages that were not daily or weekly pages, they've all been moved up to the front of the journal to make them super easy to access on a daily basis. So the next page in here, after we create our dreams, we have our vision board spread. There's really no changes here. And then we go into some affirmations that I've included for you. And a brand new page is this mindset shift page. I'm super excited about this because I am all about managing your belief system and shifting into more positive beliefs. So this gives you an opportunity to really work on that. Then we have taken the monthly habit trackers, moved the trackers to the front, put them now on a 2-page spread in the front of the journal so they're easy to access. And we've added a couple more trackers as well. I've also changed the name of them to now call them wellness trackers. That way you can continue to use these for making and breaking habits. But if you want, you could also be tracking something like your sleep more easily at the same time, or whatever you want to track from a wellness perspective. So just letting these be a little bit more flexible depending on what you're using them for. So our monthly pages are really staying the same. And then the next change that you'll notice goes into our weekly and daily pages. So we really want this to be accessible to all women. So what we've done is just really rearranged some of these tools to make them easier to do on a daily basis, less repetitive. And so that was that's the main driver behind the changes on the weekly and daily pages. So what we've done here is moved some of the daily page prompts to the weekly page. So for instance, this is a weekly affirmation. This one I feel strongly about. I think it's great to repeat your affirmation daily, but I think it's really helpful to use the same one that you're trying to work on from creating a new belief perspective to say it all week long, and maybe even all month long if it takes that long for you to feel like you really have it firmly in your belief system. So that's why I've moved that one over to the weekly page. I think that is really wise to, like I said, repeat the same one on a daily basis for a period of time. So really cement that new belief. I've also moved some of the things like the dreams and the self-care, because I found that for self-care, sometimes that seems to be the same thing that you're doing day in and day out. And so to keep that from being repetitive, that's now on the weekly page. Dreams, it's kind of like more like, what can I get done this week? Sometimes it can be a little difficult to break down next steps in dreams to truly something for each day. So, if you were actually managing to accomplish something every day towards your dreams, that's fantastic. And you can still do that by just elaborating it on your weekly page now. The next thing you'll notice is that in moving some of these prompts over to the weekly page, it frees up some space. We have a little bit more space for journaling. And what we did with that was now moved this to a 2 days in one spread. So it doesn't feel overwhelming for your journaling each day, and left the gratitude as something to list daily, because I do think that is a very important daily practice. So just making sure you have a place for that, I think, is really good. The next thing that we did was we had 3 prompts at the bottom of each daily page on how I celebrate me, beauty I noticed, and what gave me joy. And we've combined these into one, so it gives a lot more flexibility based on what you noticed for that day, and you don't have to feel like you're really striving to think of something in all the categories every day, but it still focuses your brain towards looking for the good in your life. So by making these changes, it's also freed up some room for us to be able to put Saturday and Sunday on their own page. So I'm really loving this. I know some folks don't have Saturday and Sunday as their day off, so I think this works really well for everyone now. And we also have our end of week reflections here on one page with, like we did in the past, some different information, something educational or inspirational here at the end of your weeks. We continue to have our 2-page spreads that are highlighting other women and their inspiration at the end of every week. The mindful moment challenges are also staying the same. And the same thing, we still got another page in the middle of the week as well to have a little extra inspiration from other women, or a DIY or something of that nature. So hopefully you have enjoyed this little quick flip through of the beginning of the journal. We did remove the index because we found with moving all the main tools like the dreams system and the trackers and that to the front of the journal, we didn't feel like we needed that index anymore. So that, keeps a couple of pages, so that we still do end up at the end having some extra blank pages for folks that need a little bit of extra journaling space, or space for being creative, more vision boarding, that type of thing. So that's a look at our new 2023 journal. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tour through the new JMB Living Journal today. If you have any questions, feel free to pop me something in the comments below or DM me, reach out to me with an email. Love to hear from you. If this looks like something of interest to you, obviously you can check it out on the website. If you think someone else might enjoy it, I would be ever so grateful if you would share the link to this video with them so they can get a look inside as well. And I just wish you the best week and happy journaling, friends.